needs no introduction coming here on MMA Oddsbreaker. Rose the Thug has been on our program 100 million times. And then, of course, her boyfriend, Pat, has been on here just as many times. So, as usual, it'll be a duel. So the camera will be switching back and forth between the two. But
yeah.
Let's talk about Torres. You're getting ready to fight, was it UFC on Fox 19? And that's Tampa, April 16th, right?
Yeah.
So it's the end of March right now as we're doing this interview. First, let's go through training camp. Normal training camp or a little bit harder than normal?
I think it's always just like it's the same in the sense that there's always a big challenge that I got to overcome like every time. But this time, yeah, I think it's just higher risk, higher reward, or more to gain from this fight than any other fight. So the pressure's on. It's always the next biggest fight. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, it's a little bit different. And there's always different scenarios that come up, and distractions that try and pull you away from what's important. That's just the fight and you in general. So basically, the challenge this time has just been focusing on myself, and just removing, the outside world and just focus on training, and that's it.
Does it put a little bit more heat on you because this is like, I mean, really, she's undefeated, but she's 7-0 mm-hmm. versus you're 4-2. And you've had some pretty tough losses. Like they weren't, easy. It wasn't like you walked in and fell down and you have that excuse of I got caught. Or it wasn't like you got rolled up in something weird and got caught in a weird submission. You had long, hard-fought battles that you ended up losing. You got submitted in one, but you had a super hard decision to her before. And it was a really tough fought battle, but you ended up losing. Is that make this camp harder because this is going to be a rematch, and really it's a push for who's next in line for the belt?
I don't know. I think if anything, that just like adds to my I think that gives me an advantage to have learned those lessons and to because I go out there and I put my everything into it. At the same time, I don't know if it's like I think any loss is a tough loss. I think what makes my loss tough for me is that I know that I did it to myself. I didn't my preparation wasn't there, or but I think those lessons learned, I'm grateful for that, because this is now where I'm in a position now, and I'm a totally different person, and I think I've grown a lot from that, and I think everybody can see that. I think it's pretty obvious. So I don't think that it makes it tougher necessarily. I think it just it prepares me for the future.
Right. So now with the future, you got Torres again, but your fight was, if my memory is right, 2013, June, July, something like that. Mm-hmm. So we're talking almost 2.5 years ago. You got, both of you are totally different fighters since then. You, because you've grown from your losses. Her, because she's still so confident from winning every single fight, but she only goes to a decision. She never really finishes anybody. Always ends up in these long decisions.
Yeah, I think if anything, I mean, I'm sure she's grown as a person and everything like that, but I mean, her fighting style kind of looks very similar. I mean, I think she's just doing everything that she's been doing since then, just a little bit faster, a little bit harder. But I don't think her approach to a fight is any different. She's still, very safe. She's very good at, winning, just winning, doing whatever it takes to just win, get the W. And for me, I've changed. I look different in every fight. Actually, it's not even off of a loss or a win. I think I take everything from the last fight and approach every fight differently. Because it is different every time. And I have a lot of tools. I think I have way more a bigger arsenal than she does. And I think that's one of the things that we're applying to this fight is, instead of just I went into the fight with her in the past, I just want to tear her head off. I just want to just be overly aggressive. Whereas I'm a lot smarter now, and I'm going to use everything to my advantage. Then I think that's when I'm the best. I'm the best Rose, and that's unstoppable. Is when I use all of my tools and come with as a well-rounded MMA fighter rather than just. I'm the Rose, I'm just going to try and kill you,
Right.
When I go in with a controlled aggression, and I go in there with, controlled emotions, and, just like a robot or like a cyborg, just go in there and, play with my food, a little bit.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to learn? Because you do want to, you haven't had a very long career, so we've seen all your fights. So we've been watching since Invicta. Obviously, most of us missed your amateur undefeated string, but most of us seen you since your first Invicta fight against Emily Kagan. Is it hard? Is that a hard lesson for you to learn? Like, okay, I got to be patient here. Even though like train camp sets you up to be patient, then all of a sudden you get in the actual fight. Do you find it harder sometimes have to go, all right, I got to slow down a little bit. Like I'm not doing what I planned on doing here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like, I think that's a challenge, like my lifelong struggle. I think that's just another thing with being young too, is like learning patience, just with anybody. But for myself in particular, yeah, I'm a perfectionist. I'm very hard on myself, and I want quick results. And like, I feel like, I set the bar really high for myself, when sometimes like, there's levels to it, and I skip levels sometimes. So, which has gotten me very far to where I'm at, but I also, there becomes a limit. So I definitely learned how to pace myself more, and just be more strategic, more methodical, and be more patient. But that's always been a struggle of mine, is just pulling it back, like have keep a leash on the on the dog, because it just wants to go.
So obviously you and Pat Barry have been dating for a long time. What, 4 years now, right? 4, something like that. 3.
Yeah, it's been longer. Yeah, like maybe 5 or so.
5, or closer to 5. Okay, so in the beginning you leaned on him a lot, like for training camps and advice and counsel. But you guys have been together. You know each other's rhythms and patterns. Do you still find yourself leaning on Pat as much for that older statesman, because he has been through all these weird fights, all these tough fights? Do you still lean on him as much as you did in the past?
Yeah, even more so now. I think over time, just like the things that I think in the beginning, like I think now I can appreciate more his experience and his knowledge, but also just the trust that we have with each other. He's got my back like more than anybody else.
Right.
So that's like definitely like really hard thing to come by in the fight world. But then also like he's got a lot of experience, and he knows what he's talking about, and it's been proven over time. So if anything, yeah, I do lean on him the most. The most, I think, during my fight camps and as of lately. And then obviously my other coaches as well. Like we just got a great thing going now. I think with the experience with Carla, I think it's definitely like showed all of our team, like that was the first time I think that the team that we're with now, like just the 4 of us, it kind of showed us our weaknesses, and I think now we've kind of got figured out to where like we know how the system works, and now it's brought us closer than ever.
So when you're actually inside the cage, I mean, obviously Pat's the most animated of your corner, but is he the one voice that you hear above all else's, or is it one of the other coaches that you hear above all else's?
No, I think it just depends on the situation. I think with Pat, it's not so much of exactly what he's saying. It's like kind of the energy that he brings along with it. That like I don't know. It's just like it's hard to explain, but it's more like a feeling thing, like a weird connection. But then Trevor, I more listen to Trevor like when when I'm like when I need to like when I feel myself kind of like getting emotional, and then I have to like pull it back a little bit, like okay, like think, like take a deep breath. And then with Tony, it's more like he just like we're very in tune with like the grappling, like he always is just saying whatever I'm thinking, like so it's more like reaffirming my thoughts that I already have. So yeah, they all have a purpose, and they all kind of, it just depends on where I'm at in the fight, and it all really works well.
So you seem a lot better in Colorado than Wisconsin. Like we talked about it before, right? And then now you're saying that you finally got into the pattern, the right rhythm with your coaches, because there's a learning process, not only for athlete but also for athlete coach that to build that bond. Do you feel like you finally have found the right team for you, meaning the team of coaches and nutritionists and support group, and like you finally got the right everything that you need to reach the top?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people, come from these big gyms and stuff, and I think that the way we have it set up is like all my coaches like are like have a specific job, have a specific purpose, and we all kind of like check each other, and we're always just like we're very open and honest with each other. So I mean, yeah, it just works like really well. And you know, like all these other people that come from big gyms and stuff like that, like that's all good and everything, but like nobody really has your back, and like you're kind of all by yourself. And yeah, like you have to depend on yourself, and like you're in there, you know, in the fight yourself. But like I feel like I'm kind of like the car driver, and then
Hmm.
like these guys are my like they're changing my tires, and they're telling
Yeah.
me like, oh, in the left lane or this and that, like they're like, you know what I mean, they're controlling me. But I'm also like I can depend on them as well.
So, last question before I want you to pass me over to Pat. Are you going to keep your hair short?
Bruh, she just said we're the pit crew.
You are the pit crew.
We're the pit crew.
Are you going to keep your hair short now for the duration of your fight career? Because it seems to fit you. It seems to be easier for you.
Yeah, it is very easy. I'll tell you that. Like I keep thinking like I want to like do something with it, and then like and it like right now I'm like still kind of like you
Yeah.
know like kind of experimenting with it, but I don't know. I might just keep it short because like every time it starts growing out, it just looks stupid, and I'm just like, okay, this I like it. I like it like simple. I like yeah, simple's good.
Yeah, it takes, there's that phase of like 6 months. You just have to let it go nuts and let it just grow until
Yeah,
you
it's
can do
just like
something
I
with
don't
it.
know if
So,
I want to do that just yet. Plus,
yeah.
it's like then I gotta style it, and I started doing like a little mohawk at one point, and it's just like I don't know, it's just too much maintenance. That's why I cut it off in the first place. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like I got to do more maintenance now than when it was long. You know, I could just put it in a bun or whatever.
Right.
Whereas you know now that it's short, it's like nah, I'm gonna just keep it short, but. We'll see. We'll see. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
if
never
I
know.
get like a 6 months like hiatus or something, and I just disappear for a while. I might come back with some like to the side, like emo, like thing. I don't know.
Oh, look like flock of seagulls from the 1980s.
There
Wait
you
till
go.
you won't even know what that is. You have to go Google search it. Flock of seagulls,
Okay.
1980. They had great hair. They had great hair. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on. Let's talk to Pat here real quick before we get out of
Okay.
here.
Yo,
Your face is all torn up. Why you all beat up?
we're getting close. We're getting away. Hold on, shit. I'm all okay. Scratched up everywhere, man. This is just
I
ridiculous.
know,
This
it's
is
nasty.
this is from hitting pads.
From hitting pads?
Yeah, she's supposed to hit the pads, but then she likes the face for some strange reason.
Oh,
I
she
don't
misses the
know.
pads.
Oh yeah, accidentally.
So I'm assuming you're talking about Rose. You're talking about Rose missing the
Yeah.
pads. So did you
Yeah.
do something that deserves you to get hit in the face?
You know what? I've been trying to figure that out like the last week. I've been trying. I'm like going over everything that I've done. I was like, I did the dishes. All right, I vacuumed. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I missed.
Laundry's folded.
Yep.
Yeah, how is it going from? It's been a while now. Going from full-time athlete, you know, having to worry about yourself and your camp, to now worrying about somebody else's camp, you know, and making sure all the maintenance is done for her camp. Like, how is it now? It's been a while, so you've had some time to really analyze it.
Yeah, it's been a bit, man. I'll say that the transition over to this part, it's not the easiest in the world because every day that we go to practice, every day that we go to train, and I'm watching what Rose is doing, and it's phenomenal. I'm watching like the athlete that's inside of her and just the animal that's inside of her, and it comes out just her skill, her technique, everything that she's learning. And the more I watch it, the more it's like I want to cheer it on, and I am cheering it on, but at the same time, I'm sitting in my head thinking, I want to do that too, man. Like
Yeah.
I want to do that too. Like I'm a firm believer that no one ever really retires from fighting until people just stop giving you fights. That's what I think. You don't if you're a legitimate real live fighter, this is what you do. The only way that you ever really retire is when people just stop giving you fights or they stop letting you fight on their show. Or you have some, loved ones in your life who are just sitting there saying, please no, just no more. But no, man, I always have the itch. I definitely want I'm even now, I went sparring today. Like even I've been training hard, man. I'm just getting into it. But like, it's just the reality that, I mean, Rose is the star of the show right now. And
Yeah.
it's not, and that's not a bad thing. Like that's legitimately, like Rose is the shit right now. And that's where the drive and that's where all my time and attention has been going, man. And it's gotten to a point where it has been long enough now to where I'm finding a big, big joy in this, man.
Okay.
Like there is a humongous love in watching Rose develop as a fighter, watching her just grow as a woman in general, just being able to be a part of whatever guiding force is in her life for whatever direction that she's going in, man. And just as a coach, like being a legitimate coach now, not just a fighter guy who knows some tricks here and there, but just being a legitimate coach, whether it be like for whatever the scenario is, eating or just in life in general, man. I'm finding a great joy in it, but I always am gonna have the itch. Always.
Yeah.
That's
never. I just started training again pretty heavy over here at Gracie Technics here in Hawaii. And I just went in for like one day just to kind of get loose. And next thing I know, I'm in a 20-minute round going live. And it's just like...
Yeah, you know it. Hey, man, I went to the gym today to go and cheer a guy on. And when he's like, you have your gear, I was like, I've got my gear. I have it.
I have it. You know my trunk is full. Let me go to the trunk.
Everything it's full. I've always got my gear all the time. I'm always ready to go. And this is what I say. People keep asking me, like, are you going to fight again? I'd love to. If I can make it through a week without like spraining my wrist, brushing my teeth, or like bumping into like the wall and you know why look at ow.
You're trying to make a fist open up a can of tuna, and you can't even get your hand around it.
Bruh. That doesn't make. Then that's something that the majority of the world will never know. You can make a fist and punch a man in the head, but if you go to try to turn the shower on, it's like
you gotta use two hands. Yeah.
Wow. Trying to twist it, man, off the door. It's cold outside and the door handle's a little stuck and I need Rose to open it. That's just ridiculous, man. It's sad. It's sad. And you want to know what it makes me think about, Frank?
What?
It makes me think about injecting all kinds of shit into my ass. Just so
right? I mean,
it makes me think about taking just give it to me. Is it gonna make my hands not even just from I want to take shit just so I can fight people again. Not even that. I just want to be able to go and play with my dog, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing is that we still can. It's all in the head, just like fighting. But you're right, man. Opening up the toothpaste is like the fact that this is a challenge is a problem. That's a problem.
And it's a problem that every fighter, no matter what level they're at, is eventually going to get to. Some because they fight hard, and if like a Vanderlei Silva or a Forrest Griffin type guy, they're going to feel it sooner because they had so many hard battled, really hard, tough fought fights. And some guys, aren't that kind of style. They're not going to be kind of like BJ Penn. He's trying to come back, and he didn't have that grueling kind of beat up style. He kind of even took breaks during his training camps to recuperate. Right. And now he's going to feel it later, but he's still going to feel it.
For the last 2 months, that I've been back into training, consistently training, because I've been training with Rose, and I'm showing up in shape for her fight. Like for the last 2 months that I've been training, it's been just pointing out to me how far away I am.
Right,
and that's it's just showing me how far away from being in because I know what it is that I need to do in order to be ready for a fight. I know what it is that I need to feel like in order to be ready for a fight. And at the same time, like just thinking about what it is that I need to do in order for me to get back to where I need to be, I'm sitting there thinking like, man, that is a long ass that is a long ass road that I don't know, man. I don't know if my ankles can handle that.
It's like you have to go into an 8-week training camp, like a real scientific, really, really food-based, like really thinking about everything you do in training camp for 4 weeks to get ready for a 12-week training camp to get ready for a fight. You're like, I have to get in a training camp to get ready for the training camp. Like it's like now everything is a
exactly. Yeah. I've spent the last 2 months. Everybody's like, "Oh man, you got a fight coming up?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I'm training to get ready to train. Like, and it's hard to explain. It's like I'm just exercising right now, man. All I want to do is make it through a week without going and that's it. If I could get through 1 week without complaining about how, oh man, my shoe's too tight because my right foot's bigger than my left foot because it's swollen. Why is it swollen? I don't know. I think I stood up too fast and I twist my ankle. I don't know what happened. Like I don't know, man. I'm trying to find the joy in doing old man training.
Yeah, it's tough.
Just like you said, you walked into the gym to go and do a little technique. Next thing you know, you're in a 20-minute battle with some little young Thundercat, and I love that, man. And there's no avoiding that. There's no avoiding that. I walked into the gym today, and they're like, we're sparring. There's like 6 heavyweights in the gym, and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. And now I'm at home thinking, I hope I don't have to wipe my ass today. This hand doesn't work. This hand doesn't work anymore.
You have to make a fist.
Bruh.
You make a fist with it. Just put it in there, just kind of grind it in. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, man. But Oh, that's so. Like I said, and then it's also like I said, it's watching, it's being there, watching Rose, feeling Rose, like smelling everything that she's doing, like just sensing all.
Did you just say smelling Rose?
Smelling it. Strawberries.
How do we always end up getting to a dark place in our interviews? We always end up going dark. It always we start going down a rabbit hole.
Bro, that's open it up. But just being around there is like, it's just, I'm envious. I'm envious because I'm sitting there watching things. I'm totally in love with what I'm seeing. Like, oh my, like I've said it before. I've said it a million times. I've got the best seat in the house because I get to watch every step that she's going through, all of the training, all of the growth, all of the mental anguish, all of the outside world that's happening, and just watching how she's going about it. And in my head thinking, man, I wish somebody was telling me stuff like that back then. Damn it.
Yeah.
But then I don't, because if anything was different back then, I wouldn't be the man I am right now. I wouldn't be sitting here right now next to Rose. Like, everything in my life that's happened has happened the way it was supposed to in order to get us to be right where I am right this second, man. And I love every second of it. And just watching, like I said, watching Rose grow as an athlete, watching Rose mature as a woman, mature as a partner to me, like mature as a dog owner, even though that dog is.
Awesome.
Right? She died 3 months ago. We just stuffed her and we leave her there.
Just stuffed and left her there. Just staying put.
Yeah. Yeah, but just watching her like mature as an athlete, as a star, as a superstar, man, and just grow. Like, you can't help but just, man, I just want to, being a part of it is awesome, but being the one is way better. It just is.
All right, last question before we get out of here. Financially, because you stopped fighting, so you don't have a big income like that again. That feast or famine income, where when you were fighting, all of a sudden, big payday. Now it's all on Rose for the big payday type stuff. So financially, did you guys? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you guys took a hit when you retired from competition because of. Okay, so how has it been with that between?
It's been. I stopped competing right as Rose was getting to the point of matching, not totally matching yet.
Yeah.
But so it was kind of like it just replaced. So when I stopped, we're still where we were when I was still there, because as I was competing, remember, she wasn't making anything.
Right.
She wasn't making a living. She was still an amateur. Like, I was the one holding us, and now it's the transition.
It was a period where like we didn't make the money for just like a little bit. I think like that's, or like, not that we wasn't making money, but I think it was just like there was a part where we was making less money. It was kind of going backwards a little bit, and now now we not only have like came back from that, but I think now we're like getting
a little bit more
moving forward more further than we have been ever. So yeah.
No, not. So I'm assuming she makes the money, but you pay the bills.
Yes, yeah, right. Yes, ma'am. I wash the dishes. Yeah, all that. I mean, there's still money coming in from like doing other things now, like teaching private lessons, teaching classes here and there, like just doing little jobs like that. But as of right now, Rose is the breadwinner. Rose is the one, and that's what we did. We replaced my income with her income now. That's a good transition. That's also another part of the reason why I'm still like in my head thinking I'm gonna fight again, and I'm going to. Because I just really want to. I don't want to not ever fight again. I don't want to not do that. But then, my paychecks were pretty nice. Yeah, we enjoyed those. But like I said, at the moment, just in our life right now, Rose and I we're not Hollywood by any means. We're not lavish. There's no giant watches and rings and bling, and we're driving around in Ferraris, nothing like that. But we live a very, very, very regular life. Yeah, we live regular life. I think I've been wearing these jogging pants for about 7 years now, man. We just live in a regular life. Now, we like to eat a lot. Yep. So the $1 million checks right here and then we want that now. Like, that's not necessary for us in order to survive and be happy. Right. And we also know that the $1 million check is coming. Like, it's just coming. That's just something that we've been building towards. It's something that we've been working towards. And Rose has everything possible to be a world champion millionaire. Yeah. She has everything possible. The only thing that can stop Rose from doing that is Rose. Like, that's what she said a little while ago. That's been the entire focus of this training camp is just, yo, man, why don't you just get out of your own way? That's it. Just get out of your way. You already know what to do. You already know how to do it. But every once in a while, you step in the way and you try to do it manually when your body's just trying to say, hey, move over. We got this already. And that's really what the big focus has been for this entire training camp.
That's Pat Berry and, of course, Thug Rose sitting over there in the corner. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I appreciate it. As always, amazing insight to everything you got going on. Rose, good luck. Have fun with the rest of your training camp. And obviously, I can't wait to watch this fight. To me, this fight is super exciting. I love the style matchup. I love how both you guys treat the fight. But it's also your kind of bully, thugnish, keep going forward versus her patience, do just enough to win, like you said. So this fight for me is very interesting. I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
See ya.
Peace.